Yo, what is going on? What a crazy new version of Hollow, which they've teased for a little bit, but finally dropped this week. And very fun, just very fun sort of thing. I don't know what to make of it. There's like a lot of stuff all involved with it in terms of like the empty materia going into the Buster Sword and like even using like the gold tilted Buster Sword, which is no longer in Crisis Core Reunion, and I miss it, the Steel Skyline. A lot of very like it just feels like that new one is just purely vibes. They just like went with whatever felt sort of right. So I'm not over analyzing it, but I do love the song. I love that version. So what's going on, everybody? You just said Intersect. You said a new Vincent gameplay trailer just dropped. Where did that drop? I have not seen it. I quickly went to like the Final Fantasy YouTube when I saw that, and I was like, wait a minute, what? There wasn't anything there though. Let me look at the Final Fantasy Twitter. Closer look. Oh, this is the same. Yeah, it's just pulled from the SGF one. Yeah. It's just clipped. It's just a clip from the Summer Games Fest gameplay trailer. So I would have been shocked if there's something new. But there might be something new relatively soon. PAX West is coming soon. And they kind of hinted at that as like a place where they might show some new stuff. Hamaguchi did in one of the interviews. I am seeing this very random Ben Starr thing when I loaded up Twitter. Hold on, let me show you guys. This is just randomly like the first tweet. I don't know what the context is. I don't know where this was, but it feels right. It feels right. But yeah, today is going to be a bit of a shorter stream. And this time for real. Like I know I say that sometimes and then we go on for like 7 or 8 hours. That just literally cannot happen today, because I have work stuff, like actual work stuff. I have a meeting at 6 o'clock my time. For reference, that's it's 12 o'clock now. And I might stop stream around 4 or 5-ish. I might push it to 5 in order to do some stuff ahead of that meeting. But yeah, so we don't have like all day really. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream. And because because I'm literally telling you, like it's for work, and work has been crazy this week. That was why I had to cancel Thursday, because I was working that day. And then originally I was planning to stream Friday night, but I pretty much literally pulled an all-nighter on Thursday. So I needed to go to bed at like 5 p.m. on Friday. And I did, like I took a nap. I probably woke up around like 9 o'clock my time, which then also threw off my sleep schedule again. But I needed to sleep. So yeah, on a Sunday, I know, technically an off day, but there's a Monday 11 o'clock meeting and needs to get stuff prepared for it. So it is what it is. Gordon, what's up, SubTXT? We must be approaching some new Revelation information. Maybe around PAX West is probably, that's the next big probably relevant conference that they might be at, because Hamaguchi hinted at some places that they might show up, including some Games Fest. I mean, including PAX West. Did he say Gamescom? I can't remember if he said Gamescom. But PAX West, Tokyo Game Show. There was like one other place that he hinted at, but I forgot what it was. I wonder what the demo will be for Revelation. I wonder that for sure. I'm very curious what they do for a demo. Because if it's the beginning of the game, everything they've said about the beginning of the game sounds like it's going to be Whirlwind Maze, all that crazy shit, which would be really fun for, you know what they might do? They might do like a split demo, kind of like they did for Rebirth. Because remember for Rebirth, they had the, like, basically the opening chapter, and then they also had like a Junon thing. So he went onto the world and like did some fights. They might do something like that because they might want to give you that story hook of like Sephiroth messing with Cloud, messing with his head in the world of Maze, because that is a strong opening. But I'm sure they want people to also experience the high wind and stuff. So they might have like 2 parts of the demo, like the opening chapter maybe, and then possibly like a high wind thing. So we'll see. I'm very curious how they do it. But yeah, so today is gonna be, like I said, relatively quick stream. Mary, I think that's you, your video is what I'm reacting to today. So we're gonna go through a few things. So down below, so it'll be a VOD with timestamps, all that stuff. After this, I also realized that playing that new version of Hollow, I was like, oh, I could just edit that out on YouTube, but I realized Twitch probably won't. So hopefully I don't get copyright fucked on that choice. But I think we're gonna watch one more trailer, and then we're just not gonna watch anything FF7R anymore. They spoiled too much. I mean, with Rebirth, I pretty much made the choice to watch everything except the launch trailer and that like state of play that they did before the game came out, and that actually worked out perfectly fine. I was similar to you, Neva, in terms of I thought I watched like the first couple of trailers for Rebirth, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching them, but they keep dropping, and I couldn't help myself, and I was like, I need to. Also, I make content around it too, so odds are I'll watch everything up to the final trailer, because the final trailer you just can't, no way, just 0% chance. I personally didn't feel like the Rebirth one showed that much until the final trailer. The final trailer is ridiculous. Their fucking trailers. I joked about this on Max's stream, and he actually he saw it and he laughed, but it was like because he was watching the final trailers for Remake and Rebirth, and I'm like, they're not even trailers, they're like recap videos. Like they're straight up like recap videos. So it's crazy. I promised myself I couldn't see the final trailer, but I have no self-control. No, don't do it. Just don't do it. Because I was in a similar place where I felt that way with Remake. When the final trailer dropped for Remake, I was tempted. I started it. I started that trailer, started to watch it, and then I probably stopped maybe 30 seconds in, and then I watched it after Remake came out, and I was like, holy shit, thank God I didn't see it. They showed Hell House, they showed fucking I think they showed like the Sephiroth fight, or like something very close to it. They showed like final chapter stuff. And then the same thing for Rebirth. They showed final trailer stuff, which was nuts. Or like final chapter stuff. Considering the final Rebirth trailer revealed Cisne. The thing with Cisne that's really funny, so real quick on Rebirth, when the state of play happened, right? Because they showed that trailer at the state of play. Like the dedicated FF7 Rebirth state of play. I was actually super crazy busy with work at that time too. Because it kind of comes and goes in flights. They're just like every now and then there's like a week or two that I'm just like crazy busy. And that was one of those weeks. So the state of play was happening. I got home from work and I had more work to do. And I just couldn't watch it live. So I was so pissed. I was here. My computer was like set up this way against this wall, and you can see my TVs over there. And so I had it on the side, but it was like muted, and I was like doing work. And then I was getting messages of like, oh my God, they spoiled so much. And I wasn't looking at it though. So I was like, ooh, okay, thank God. So it's basically because of work, I missed on that state of play, and I'm glad I did but the funny thing is, so in that trailer, like you said, they showed Cisne, and so I decided, okay, I'm not going to watch it. And I had muted 200 words chat. I muted 200 words on Twitter at the time. Actually, I think I might have like a picture of it because I saved it for like future reference. But I use it. There's a limit. You can only mute up to like 2,000 words on Twitter. and I literally hit the cap. I muted every single character name. I muted every location I could think of. I muted like chapter numbers. I muted God knows. I don't even, like, it was variations of characters' name, variations, like literally misspellings. Like, I didn't want anything to get through. I tried. I had, it was a crazy list. I don't know where it is, but I literally had it saved on my computer to like maybe refer back to it when I had to turn the music back on for part 3. So I muted as much as I possibly could. And then I get on Twitter and fucking a picture. This person tweeted a picture of Cisne from the trailer without any like language. And that spoiled me. So I saw Cisne because somebody just posted a picture and there was no words attached to it. So the mutes didn't catch it. And I was like, son of a bitch. I knew Cisne was in it before playing it. I mean, all things considered, it's fine. Like, it wasn't, like, it would have been better to experience it the way, like, I think Max was like completely surprised by it when I saw his playthrough. Like, I wish I experienced that, but I didn't. It's tough to avoid spoilers. Yeah. What's up, big dog? I'm playing Cisne, Reno, and Brood. Are praying Cisne, Reno, and Brood are surprise playable characters, not necessarily party members. Well, supposedly, specifically when Hamaguchi was talking about Zack's sections, he talked about like playable characters, like guest characters and stuff. And so, especially to play alongside Zack, Cisne makes a whole lot of sense, and you can make her kit pretty easy because you can make her kind of like Yuffie. So we'll see. You just stay off social media now. That's probably the smartest. The other thing that I have to do is I need to, Max was mentioning this actually when I was talking to him, and he talked about there's an extension. I gotta find it, but there's like an extension to remove thumbnails on YouTube as well. Because the biggest problem for me too is thumbnails can be spoilers. Because people put pictures from like the ending and shit in videos. I mean, granted, I might get an early copy, so I might like be able to avoid all that, but yeah. All right, so let's get started, because like I said, we don't have like a lot of time today. It's already like 12:30. I've already burned like a half hour. So let's get into the show. So today's gonna be kind of a chill day. What's going on, Soul Man? Like I said, kind of a chill day. It's been a really busy week. Like I said, pulled an all-nighter on Thursday for work. And I just couldn't handle like Nier today. And it's gonna be a shorter stream. I was like, you know what? We'll just do like a couple of light things. We're gonna watch this Tifa video from Mary, who I think is in chat. Like I think that's your username, Mary the cat. So we're gonna watch that Tifa video. We're going to check out the Before Crisis scenes that dropped, and then we're just gonna play some Rebirth. Like, I don't know how much we're gonna be able to play, because like I said, I only have like until 4:35 at the latest to do stuff. So let's get into it. So first off, thank you to all the patrons on my Patreon. If you want to join, you can as well at patreon.com/subtxt_. It's a way to support and, you know, help me as I try to do this a little bit on the side. But let's just jump into it. So this week has been the meme to save the fandom, and it was posted by Mushy Rice. This tweet that you've all seen, I'm sure, has, when I screenshotted this last night, it was 4.7 million views. I have a glitch in my Switch, FF7 Rebirth, where a fat fucking chocobo just appears out of nowhere. This is obviously taken over social media. If you haven't seen it, like I think a couple people in chat may not be on Twitter and stuff, but this has been everywhere, and it's so fucking funny, and has spawned like so many tweets or so many like memes. Like Tyler Hepner made some art of the Aerith burial, and he's like, I'm trying to mourn, and the fucking chocobo is like right there in the up front. There's this one from the Gold Saucer that someone just put Pico in. There's people who've like added stuff like, excuse me, sir, have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG FF14? A lot of them are from like Harpsiboard, who's funny. I've seen her videos where she plays like FF7 music and like other music, video game music on like a harp. And she posts really fucking funny tweets very often. Just like very sarcastic, very funny like this. Just like funny, just like memes everywhere, taking Pico and putting it in these scenarios. This one's really funny given what's happening right now with PlayStation. It's like the elephant in the room thing that they've been talking about with the disc kind of controversy that they've had. This one is the one that connected the most with me. My responsibilities and me. This is me today because I should be doing work stuff, but instead I'm streaming for a bit. But it is what it is. Excuse me, sir. I'm here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. Currently watching this awesome theory video about One Winged Angel. It's all in the lyrics and they're different in AC. Oh, could you link it? Because I think you can share links on YouTube. You should be able to. And if you can't, then you can just post like the title so I can look it up. I'm just catching up with chat. I mean, for 1995 Dragon, in terms of like early copies being cool, I mean, I would agree with you. I would prefer to just play it alongside everyone else. What I'm definitely afraid of though is like I've made a bunch of theories, and so I feel like if anybody mainlines it faster than I do, like I'm gonna be a target for spoilers. Like people are gonna be like, "Oh, you were so wrong," or "Oh my God, you're right," and I don't want to know either way. Like I just want to experience it blind. So if I hadn't started making content, I would totally be in your. I agree with your position. But yeah. So I personally, I just can't risk it for myself, for my own experience, but that's just because of the position I put myself into. Yeah. So, let's get into everything today. So first, I'm actually going to do this Tifa video from Mary, who's in chat. So shout out to Mary, who sent this to me on DM on Twitter. And I was like, huh, this is kind of interesting. So this is a theory about brought up in it. Hold on. That I hadn't thought about before. Because like she says in the opening, to spoil one part of it, like a lot of people don't think too heavily on this trial, and it is true. Like I don't think too heavily on it because when the trial came, it's sort of like it's weird. There's weird stuff. There's like the creepy little boy cloud was probably the thing that stuck out the most to me. But then otherwise, it's just the scene of her father dying. So I'm like, okay, I'm reliving that sort of loss that she went through. And like everyone's sort of reliving their loss, their moments of loss. Like Barrett, relives his wife's death, which we as fans have never seen. So it was like, oh, that's cool to see. Like, or it's interesting to see, not cool to see. It's not necessarily cool to see his wife die. Oh, hold on, I need to turn chat on. I had it hidden for something. I was sending Sleep Easy something. Oh wait, this whole box move. There we go. What was I gonna say? So yeah, like you relive that. You relive like the Red 13, like getting captured and tortured and stuff. But those are like new things. So you go into. Did that link work? Oh, hold on, let me see. It did not. FVD, I guess it got blocked. But if you can just post the title, just the title to the video, I can look it up. And so you go through all these trials and you relive these traumas, but for a lot of these characters, you haven't experienced those traumas before. So I feel like those really stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like those stood out. Like I'd never seen Red 13 go through experiments. I've never seen Barrett's wife's death. Even Yuffie's has like something kind of new to it, because it seems like a direct conversation with Nero that didn't happen in the past. So it seems more like directly fucky. So all those trials really stood out a lot compared to the Tifa one, which you were kind of going through. You're basically reliving what you went through in chapter 1 of the game. So it didn't stand out as much. But watching this, I was like, huh, okay, there's a couple things here I definitely overlooked, and it's worth looking at. So with all that, let's check it out.
And welcome to the video. I'll be discussing Tifa's trial, and her trial is the one that gets overlooked the most. And honestly, I can't blame anyone. this scene is a scene we have seen countless upon countless of times leading up to this scene. We saw it in Remake, we saw it in Crisis Core Reunion, we saw it in Ever Crisis, we even saw it in the first chapter of this very game. So when time came for everyone's trial and people just saw it was this scene again, some of them just didn't pay attention to it and just walked right through it to try and get to the other trials, which showed new scenes. But Tifa's trial is quite particular in the sense that her trial doesn't really align with the ones from her human friends, Barrett, Red 13, and Yuffie, and instead goes more in line with the ones from the characters that have been influenced by outer forces. We have Aerith, who is after Cetra, so her trial being more different and mystical is no surprise. And we have Cloud, who has been infused with S cells and is currently being manipulated by Sephiroth. So it is no surprise for anyone that Cloud's and Aerith's trials are different, but it is a surprise that Tifa's trial aligns more with those two. So why does this happen? I believe that Tifa's trial is different than the other ones because of what happened in Chapter 9. I would like to highlight the part where the weapon brings Tifa back.
Okay, hold on. This is the title. Sorry.
Back.
Let's see if I can look it up real quick. One-winged angel is actually a hostage situation.
Most people.
That's funny. Maybe we'll watch it. I don't know.
So when the weapon took Tifa to the live stream, it ate her. So when the weapon was giving her back, I thought that the weapon would just throw her up. I don't think that would really affect the teen rating, but that's not what happened. When it came time to give Tifa back, the weapon opened its mouth and, whispers came out, live stream particles came out, and it looked like they were reconstructing Tifa's body. And that's when I think she was reborn. It goes aligned with the theme of the game. And that's why I think she is a bit more in tune with the planet's will as well as the weapons. I do want to underline that I'm not saying she's etc. Okay, I'm just saying because of her experiences in Chapter 9 and in the live stream, she is now more in tune with what is going on with the planet and the whispers and Sephiroth and the weapons, which is why I think her trial is the more interesting one from that point of view, because her trial has a lot of discrepancies and we will be analyzing every single one of them. And I do believe her trial holds the more clues to some of the mysteries that will be resolved in Revelation.
Notice how this specific weapon has blue coloration, whereas the other weapon has red coloring.
But her trial, I believe, does function as a window to the solution to those mysteries.
Yeah, so real quick, in terms of that, like if she's being reborn and all that, I don't know. We did talk about it during the stream, how it is strange. It's sort of like, part of me sees it more as just like a kind of like stylistic, interesting way to sort of like put her back in the world, but there might be like lore implications to how the weapon delivers her. Either way, there's some like live stream fuckery, obviously, with like how all that goes. But it's the the more important, or what stood out to me was the rest of this video, even more so in terms of elements of this trial that are kind of strange.
So let's just jump right into it.
Did she wash her clothes after the recovery? She killed for a shower.
So right away, one of the first things we see is Tifa looking up to the sky. And you might think, oh, this is just to show her looking at her surroundings, but I don't think that's the case. The sky is wrong, and I think Tifa is confused by that. I was confused by that. The sky is supposed to be a beautiful starry night, that night of the promised scene. And instead it's this cloudy sky that immediately lets us know something is wrong. Following up.
That, like, it's such a simple point. I did not fucking notice that at all, chat. Did anybody here notice that? I genuinely, not until seeing this video, I never clocked it. Even though she does make a point, it's definitely purposeful because she literally makes a point to like look at it. Let me just pull it up real quick. Because I was watching it again after I saw this video and I was like, shit. Yeah, you didn't read into it? So it's the first beat of like this whole movement. It literally shows her looking up. And it's like really noticing that sky the way it is. I was like, huh. Like that is true. And like, yes, it is sort of an overall an illusion, but it also makes me wonder how clouded this memory is or how it's being portrayed to her in this moment. You know, it's kind of like the clouded eye, see nothing but shadows sort of thing. The clouds are just, it's just very interesting to obscure it and not make it, because there's weird stuff that happens in the other trials, right? Like Barrett, but like Barrett's, you know, recreation, for example, is like almost vividly accurate. You know, same thing with Red 13's, right? Like there isn't there's weirdness to it in terms of like when things switch up, like when the camera zooms around Barrett, for example. And then like he has his arm again. But otherwise, when you go back into town, nothing about the town feels overly strange. It just feels like you're in the past. I guess like the sky is also cloudy here, but it's less. Like, that's kind of how Corel is in a way, and then jumps to the past. So it just feels like reliving like a legit, you know, memory. Lots of purple throughout. Yeah. I assume the trials were all manipulated to help deter them from pushing forward. The trouble with Barrett and Anaki scenes is that we've never seen them before, so we don't know details that might be off. Yeah. Also, under the impression that Joe is behind a lot more and kind of baited the party into these trials to try and break them. I'm not sure. Because it doesn't really break any of them. It makes them sad or whatever, but it also leads to the, you know, no matter what happens to us in the past, we need to move forward sort of thing. It didn't feel like it deterred them, you know?
On that moment, we see a 13-year-old Tifa. And this immediately should set off red flags in everyone's brain, because up until now, and continue on forward until Aerith's and Cloud's trial, everyone turned back to who they were during the time of the trial. The biggest example here is Barrett. Barrett turned back to the time where he still had his arm, and then fast forward when his arm had just been amputated. Then we have Red 13. When he is in his trial, he doesn't have his tattoo. He later gets that at the end of his trial. So how come Tifa didn't turn back into her former self right at the beginning of her trial? This only happens once, twice if you want to count Cloud. But the most prominent example of this is Aerith. In Aerith's trial, she is on the train with her mother and her former self, but we don't really bat an eye to this because, again, she is a Cetra. She is on the Temple of the Ancients. This is to be expected, but not with Tifa. So
yeah, it's like she's
right
watching
away,
from the outside.
This already
Yeah,
should set off red alarms on everyone's brain.
I'm pretty sure it gets shown later in the video at some point, but like, yeah, in Aerith's trial, she's standing there and she sees her younger self, and then she kind of like goes into her younger self, and like you play through as younger Tifa. Same thing happens. I mean, the only one that might, because I was looking into this after the video, the only one that might not fully line up with this thought is actually Yuffie, but I can't tell how much of it is like purposeful versus like a slight oversight. Because here you have Yuffie walk in and she has the belt. Because like the only way to really distinguish her from the Yuffie that was in the DLC was by the belt. And then at the end, when she can, you know, runs into Nero,
I can always keep him from myself.
It also feels like a little bit separate versus her reverting back to her remake self, because she does still have the belt here. So all throughout her trial, she has her rebirth design versus her remake design. I don't know how much to look into that. It's like think about that in terms of like this theory on Tifa, but it is interesting. When it comes to Yuffie, I don't think the outfit is an indication because developers are treating it as if she's always had that design. Possibly. I mean, that one's also just strange because that one she's technically reliving an old moment, but not completely, right? Like in Red 13's, she's reliving, Red 13 like relives that trauma and like getting the tattoo. Barrett relives finding his dead wife. Yuffie doesn't exactly relive the death of Sonon. It's more like Nero is breaking the fourth wall. Like he drops Sonon in front of him and is like, you know, come play with me or whatever the hell he says. So that one's a little bit different because that one's also like a little bit like fourth wall breaking. But either way, the Tifa point is still interesting.
Because
regardless.
something is off here. And actually, one of the theories I have seen going around is that little girl is Genova. That was one of the theories, that Genova had somehow entered Tifa's trial and is now influencing it. We can argue that aspect, and we can also argue the opposite aspect and say that because of Tifa's newfound connection with the planet, this could be the planet's doing. However, I am more, in this particular first phase of her trial, I am much more leaning to Genova because there is no reason as to why the planet wouldn't perfectly encapsulate this scene, as it has already shown this to her in the live stream. So the sky is wrong and Tifa didn't turn back. Those two are very big red flags.
So I don't know if it's either of those, but I will say the Genova idea, I was like, at first when I first heard it, I wasn't really buying it, but then something happens in a little bit that I'm like, that is strange though. So it's not impossible. Either way, there's just like weird discrepancies, as this video points out, where it's like, yeah, why is this guy that way? Why is this like that? Why is that like that? You'll see when we get to it.
So before moving on to some more pressing red flags, I really just wanted to highlight a part here where Tifa walks up to the water tower and little Tifa waves to her. Now, this is another specific instance where I think this shows us,
I gotta say, this version or like this interpretation of her trial makes it feel creepier. Like now I'm like scared of little Tifa.
How wrong her whole trial is, because this only ever happens in another trial, and that is of course Aerith's trial.
Like immediately what I find interesting about this is, you know, how it's playing with this memory, given how memories are so important to, for example, the what's going to happen in the live stream sequence, right? Like the way that their memories match and sort of conflict and then come together is like is like the key to like how, you know, Cloud finds himself again. So them sort of like even messing with the scene a little bit is kind of interesting, especially if there's some kind of like manipulation happening that's trying to sort of like cloud this. And I couldn't tell what might be causing it. Like you know, Mary throws out the idea of Genova, and I wondered, well, if the exposure in the live stream, if that did anything, because we know Genova is like in the live stream given geostigma and all that. So I was just curious if maybe something sort of like messed with the memory in a weird way when she had that exposure, which originally she was protected from because she was inside the weapon, but then Sephiroth pierces through it with the sword and then it sort of like gets in. So I was curious about if maybe that is what is sort of messing with this a little bit. I don't know. I have no clear answers for this, by the way, just like caveat and like spoiler alert. I don't have any clear answers for the stuff brought up in this video. And I don't know if the video quite lands it either. But either way, there's like interesting stuff I hadn't thought about when it came to this trial.
Which again is no surprise, she has Cetra. But with Tifa, it makes no sense here why her trial is just so...
Yeah, JT, that gets pointed out in the video.
It really is uncanny in my eyes. So little Tifa waving to big Tifa is another very big red flag for this trial. And while we are here, I do want to highlight a section in the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth menu. When you go to the story menus, in this specific part before all the trials start, we have the following text. Guided by the pedestal, each member of the party heads through a separate door, accosted by memories of their past upon crossing the threshold. Again, this just...
I also looked up the Tifa one because, you know, since this was the focus of the video, I went back and loaded up the game yesterday and looked up the Tifa one to see what the text said. It wasn't anything major. It was just like her reliving, you know, what happened in Nibelheim is what it said. So it wasn't anything really too big there.
How wrong Tifa's trial is, because these aren't... While these are memories of her past, they are heavily, I want to say edited, but they are also just very wrong.
Let's slightly speed this up. Did I finish Nier? I finished B, like ending B. We did ending B last week. We did ending B last week. So next week we'll do C and probably D. Like if you can do it that quickly, because I've heard you can do them pretty quick. It's just that this week I don't have a lot of time for streaming, and so we're not going to do it this week. We'll do it next week.
A bit further down the line with all of the historical inconsistencies. So I just wanted to highlight this. So here I just want to show you guys an Easter egg that I thought was very funny. If you climb the ladder with Tifa,
this is what JT just mentioned in chat. Actually, let me slow it back down.
Until
kind of funny.
Halfway, maybe 3/4 up the ladder, and then you slide down. When you go back to the front of the water tower, little Tifa has now disappeared and little Cloud has now spawned in. Now
just
this is
just
stuff, to me, this is just a fun Easter egg.
Loading assets.
I won't read into any of this. I do think it's funny how when switching the assets for this scene, the developers just didn't have Cloud sitting down how he is in the cutscene. So this is just a little funny thing.
It's just a loading thing because they don't expect anybody to do that. It is funny that I guess he's not sitting down because he could just be sitting down because that's how you see him in a minute. But it's funny.
So here, I just wanted to once again highlight the fact that even after little Tifa devirtualized from the scene, they didn't turn Tifa back to her 13-year-old self, which is the historical accurate canon timeline thing, if you will, for this moment in time. Again, this was a perfect way for them to turn this back and maybe not have Tifa's trial be so uncanny or
to the point that's being made right now. Like I could have seen like a possibility of them doing this where when she comes from the other side, you know, she comes through as little Tifa because that would be similar to a lot of the other trials, but instead she maintains her current form the entire way through. It's almost like she's viewing a memory completely in third person versus reliving it, which is
different from the other human characters and Anarchy.
Cloud?
So Mary talks about the music in a second, but actually what really hit me was, especially given the potential Genova influence that she mentioned, I don't know, it's weird to put this effect on it. And I can't remember, did anybody remember this kind of effect happening in any trial except maybe Cloud's? I don't even remember. I would have to like rewatch it with you guys, but I don't remember this like, it's almost like static effect.
Cloud?
What's going on, Tyler? I showed you your art earlier, by the way. I was talking about this meme, and I showed your art. It happened in Cloud. Okay. Yeah. Very interesting to do this effect, though. Given some of the strange things that happen in this video. I know it happens in Cloud a lot, like in generally. I just didn't know if it happened in this trial or not. I can't remember.
No!
But there's weird stuff. This like everyone's
so now
creepy in this.
we're going to talk about the music used in this section. As we know, the music in Final Fantasy VII is a spoiler in on itself. So here, I asked one of my friends, Final Fantasy VII Music on X, previously Twitter, to check out the music and see if...
the fact that it zooms in on our eyes too, they do a lot for Cloud Genova glitches. Actually, Egg with Feelings, now that you mentioned it, it happens in the fucking Revelation trailer. Revelation trailer. Like at the very beginning of the Revelation trailer.
One man sought dominion through reunion.
And it zooms in on his eyes.
By his will, a star fell.
Huh.
They could find something weird going on there. And this is what I got back. I was editing the music for Tifa's trial and realized that when the scene changes to Nibelheim burning, the arrangement of Sephiroth's theme sounded so familiar because it's also used in Chapter 1 when Cloud is limping through Nibelheim while it's burning. Specifically, we hear the third and fourth phase of that theme during Tifa's trial. So some of you might be thinking, okay, yes, whatever, of course they're going to use the same music for the same scene. However, as we have analyzed, this recollection of the past is flawed. And not only that, but this was used in Chapter 1 with Cloud, and as we know...
Mary in chat saying, this flash in Tifa's eyes, I believe, is to show the influence of the planet. We did this. This flash happened to Tifa once more when she sees Aerith dead or alive. Oh, true. Yeah.
Tifa doesn't believe, right now, she believes that Cloud is lying, that something's going on in his head, that he's sick, because as far as she knows, Cloud was not there during the Nibelheim incident. So using the same music from Cloud's fake memories to Tifa's inaccurate trial, I feel further cements the Genova possibility. So that was really interesting to find out. So right now it's time for the more interesting and, in my opinion, groundbreaking part of Tifa's trial. And this is the part that really cements my theory that there's some outside force manipulating her trial. So before we go down the ladder, I just want to point out the elephant in the room, which is little Cloud is down there. And not only is he not supposed to be there, that's the wrong age of Cloud. And as I said before, as long as Tifa knows, he wasn't there. So this trial goes directly against her recollection of memories.
This video is by Maria, who's also in chat. It's a very short video. It's like 20 minutes. It's just pointing out very strange things in her trial that are interesting, and I hadn't thought about. I mean, the one thing that I definitely did think about was like, little Cloud is very strange. Like, because as she's pointing out, it's the wrong age of Cloud. But it is sort of like the Cloud that she remembers, right? Like, she doesn't remember 16-year-old Cloud in Nibelheim. Because to her, she never saw him in that scenario, so it kind of makes sense to kind of like remember this Cloud, which is the only the last Cloud that she knew in the past. Of course, they can't show the real Cloud. But yeah, exactly. Game Busters. So she's recalling obviously the last Cloud that she knew in this situation, but the behavior of Cloud in this trial always did stick out to me because it feels very strange. Like, it almost feels menacing in a way. And I don't know if that's because of maybe some of the Genova influence, like this video's saying. But there's something strange about his behavior all throughout. That even could be her, Tifa's memory of how I don't know. Either way, I really appreciate this video for having me look back at this trial in a different way. Come on, slide down. You got it.
Alright, so let's dissect this. You will notice that, again, in contrast to Barrett's trial, in this recollection of the
Game Busters is saying, I remember the talk of Tifa and Cloud's minds mixing here, Little Cloud being the subconscious, like in the live stream of the OG. Oh, you're having some remote issues?
past, there are no...
Yeah, like when he points with his head down, like it's just very like... It's unsettling, you know what I mean?
Villagers, NPCs, whatever you want to call them. When it was Barrett's trial, we saw very clearly all of the people...
Fuck me, Egg with feelings, you're so right. Cloud points similarly to the way the black robes do when guiding you through the Temple of the Ancients. Holy shit. That's a good fucking point.
that were dead at that moment in time. We saw the war going on in Shinra.
So a good point here on like how the like it's she's seeing this version of Nibelheim burning down, but there's no bodies or anything. There's no like people here the way it was in like when you live through the flashback earlier in the game. And there was all of that in like Barrett's
trial. But with Tifa's trial, there is no one there. And we know that Tifa and her father went up to the reactor to hide when Sephiroth started attacking the village. So she would have seen the destruction and even the murder of a lot of the village.
Funny, I wonder how much of the attack Tifa saw, or like if they left, if her and her dad left at the very beginning of it, did she see all this? And if she didn't fully see all of this, it's her mind trying to reconstruct it based on what she heard from Cloud.
And that's not the case here. No one is here. And I do want to take a moment to mention Yuffie's trial. I have been talking about how the trials are.
Was it to hide or to help? Well, I forgot exactly what, you know, why they went to the reactor itself.
Wanting true to their past events, but...
Oh yeah, because does her dad, God, I'm mixing things up now. Does her dad, because her dad goes to try to confront Sephiroth, right? Now that I think back. I think that's what, I think she mentioned that. And then I think that's what it says in Traces of Two Paths. Even if she didn't, Tifa and her dad were at home when the massacre started, so there should be people there. Yeah.
Yuffie's trial does take a tangent there. However, it's not really that worth of a mention. But nevertheless, her trial doesn't go directly the way it does in the integrated DLC. While there are some extra added scenes in Yuffie's trial, specifically with Nero talking to her, I do think this doesn't really fit.
To hide, I think I just played that scene. You know what's funny is I think that's one of the things that might be a discrepancy in English and Japanese. Let me look it up real quick. If I remember, it was one of those things that may have actually been like, that in English, it says that the dad went up there to hide, but in Japanese, it might have said to confront. I can't remember. I have a vague recollection of that being talked about among like kind of the theory folks. Let's see. Reactor. I'm like looking at the script right now. What does she say in English? Because you just looked it up, just so I can like use Control F and like find it. Oh, thank you so much, Game Busters, for the sub. Did she say father, dad? Oh yeah, the shade injector mod. Yeah, I've heard of it. Sephiroth, thank you so much for the 2 jewels. Dad. I don't know. We'll look it up later, maybe.
It in the same category as...
Oh, you know what? It might be listed under Nibelheim, weirdly. I don't know.
Tifa, because what I think is happening here is Yuffie's trauma response. This is her guilt, and the temple is manifesting that guilt through Nero. Not only is this particular moment of the village wrong, there are people are missing, bodies are missing, but there are people who are there that are not supposed to be there, i.e. little Cloud. That's 14-year-old Cloud. He's not supposed to be there. He wasn't there when this happened. This is wrong. And it pushes the question, who is that? Could this be just the temple? But why would the temple single Tifa out? Could this be Genova? Why would Genova do this? And could this be the planet? But why would the planet has already shown Tifa true memories of her past, so I don't think it would make sense to confuse her by using a 14-year-old Cloud in a moment in time where he wasn't present. And once again, Tifa did not revert back to her, in this case, 15-year-old self. She's still her 20-year-old self, which is once again highly inaccurate to the period of time the trial.
As her father helped evacuate the survivors, Tifa was down by the river and saw the charred bodies as they came down one by one. Eventually, he left to go confront Sephiroth. Yeah, that's what Tracer says. Okay. Yeah.
Is portraying to her.
It's like, weirdly, that actually makes more sense than hiding, right? Like, if I was going to hide from Sephiroth, I would have just run out into the random woods or something, you know what I mean? Like, he's running with purpose to...
So this moment here is very inherently creepy to me, because up until this point, not a single...
God, so now you're saying Brian takes Tifa there to protect her, but Sephiroth turns up. God, I need to reread... I need to reread Traces, because Traces says it, like, most directly.
Scene of Tifa's past, not a single time of these...
I haven't read it in, like, 2 years.
And it has been showcased to completion. The first one we saw was the promise scene. We didn't see to completion. The moment Tifa got up there, it changed to Nibelheim burning up, and then Nibelheim burning up is an inaccurate representation of what it was at the time. Then she got up to Little Cloud, which is, he is not supposed to be there, and he's just so, here is very inherently creepy, I'd say. He's just pointing menacingly or weirdly towards Tifa's father, who's running.
God, I just want to bring that back up that somebody mentioned in chat real quick. Tifa trial. But the point reminds of the robes. Fuck. Grant, what's going on? That's such a good point. It looks just like the robes. How they point in the temple. It's so good.
Towards his death.
That's such a good point. Public Cloud,
and then at this point, Little Cloud will, much like Little Tifa, completely be virtualized, and he won't show up for the rest of her trial. And yet, Tifa still hasn't turned back to who she was in this moment of time. I'm sorry I keep bringing this up, but it's just very weird to me that at no point in her trial did she turn.
Oh, it's a good point, Nerm. Does that mean it's Nova, or is it playing off her fear of the degradation of Cloud? That's a very good point. Personally, I'm probably more in the camp of the latter, like playing off the fear of Cloud's degradation. I mean, that would be a good... That mean that adds up and makes sense. I'm still not sure about the Genova theory presented here, but it is interesting how weird this memory is. So it could be influenced or sort of being manipulated in a way by Genova for sure. That's not impossible, you know.
Back to who she was. Even Aerith, after encouraging her younger self to go for it.
For sure, it's the last version of Cloud that she knew. It's more the behavior of Child Cloud, right? Like him doing the point is very strange.
We then
like Tifa never knew of a Cloud, even a younger Cloud, who acted like that, you know. So it brings up the question of why he acts like that in this trial. In Traces, Tifa sees a bunch of monsters cut down by Sephiroth on the Woody Reactor. If she and Brian had gone there before Sephiroth, those monsters would have stood in the way. The other thing, Janny, that reminds me of, I remember when I read Traces before Rebirth came out, I was actually really looking forward to, as Cloud, going up to the reactor, at least a little bit, just to see the trail of bodies, because the way it's described in the book is like, there's like a trail of like dead monsters and dead people, and like you just see the slaughter that Sephiroth did. And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to see in the game. And they shortcut it. It makes sense pacing wise why they shortcut it, but it would have been a cool visual to see.
and turn back to we play as little Aerith. But in Tifa's case, it's just
I wonder if there's a link here to Dear Destiny in the space that's created to the person you care, as per the explanation of treating degradation, especially when considering how Tifa held young Cloud on a pedestal after the Nibelheim incident. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I haven't read Dear Destiny yet, because I did try to read the DeepL translation that was sent to me, but when I went like paragraph to paragraph, things didn't connect in a way that made sense. Like you'd be talking about one set of characters doing something, and then I'd go to the next paragraph, and like suddenly we're like seemingly in a whole other scene. So it was just like impossible for me to follow. But I did get a copy of the Japanese one, and I'm planning to sort of like scan it and sort of like translate it. Either way, the English one is coming out at the beginning of next year, but I just couldn't follow that translation. So I was like, I read like 3 or 4 pages, and I was like, I feel like none of this is connecting, or like, I don't know why it just reads weird. And I know it's like just a machine translation, but like things don't make sense as I'm reading it. Like I just genuinely don't know what's happening. Oh, and that's an arrow section. I was only reading Tifa's one so far, and like that's when I was like, I can't make sense of this. So
it's just a very big question of why. Why is it so different? Why doesn't she turn back? Who is little Tifa? Who is little Cloud? Why are there characters being shown here that aren't supposed to be here? Because all of these questions are very, very fascinating, because the answers are incredibly fascinating. It's either Genova or the planet, or maybe even the temple. And
it's sort of just because Mary, while she's playing it, is like holding Tifa here. It's so funny to see Tifa do these like cute little idle animations in the midst of like a burning city.
Or the answers be here. Because all of these questions are very, very fascinating, because the answers are incredibly fascinating. It's either Genova or the planet, or maybe even the temple. And then that also brings forward the question, why are they doing this? Why to Tifa, and why now? When it comes to little Cloud, I do believe that the reason we see this little Cloud, specifically,
Thank you for the sub, Alex. I think you've been sub before. Hold on, let me see. 12 months. Holy shit, thank you so much. God, it's been a year. Yeah, I've been streaming for a year.
Promising, and then we see him again in Nibelheim burning up, is because
what is Genova's motive? They are already trying to get the black materia when they come to the temple. I don't know, Toolman. I mean, I'm not fully bought in on the Tifa, on the Genova thought. The only thing that kind of makes sense to me is like trying to manipulate this memory in Tifa's mind, or muddle it, because it is sort of like important to, you know, the reconstitution of Cloud in the live stream sequence. So I don't know if like if it's like trying to sort of like mess with it in some way. I don't know.
this is the real Cloud.
Either way, the revisit to this memory does have strange aspects. The cloud, I mean, the cloudy sky, the way Cloud is behaving, him like pointing almost like a robe. Like there's weird stuff that I didn't fully consider before watching this that have sort of resurfaced since.
This is the Cloud that Tifa knows. This is the Cloud who, all those years ago, read Traces of 2.
Points 1 and 2 here feel closest to what's happening. Let me see. Number 1, symbolic manifestation of Cloud's trust in the real Cloud acting as a guide in the trial, pointing her towards the right direction. 2, the anchor that symbolizes Tifa's last and undisputed memory of the real Cloud, the memory she turns to when in doubt. Yep. A vessel created by Genova, much like little Tifa, in an attempt to confuse Tifa and consequently make her doubt Cloud, would explain why Tifa never turned back to her younger self and why there are discrepancies in the events shown. Number 4, the planet's way of telling Tifa to keep trusting Cloud and not lose hope in him. 4.1, Little Cloud could also be an actual fragment of real Cloud psyche the planet injected onto Tifa during the livestream scene of Chapter 9 to keep it safe from Sephiroth's influence, and subsequently will help restore real Cloud during livestream sequence. Yeah, and I know Mary talks about it a little more, but interesting. Point 1 and 2, I think, are pretty solid for sure. The rest are like an open question. Yeah, I mean, I could see trying to mess with the memory. I mean, here's the weird thing, right? I feel like a lot of the other trials, with the exception of Yuffie, don't feel like they have anything outright strange. It just feels like a reliving of the memory, right? Like Red 13 relives getting the tattoo. There's it transitions weird because you start in, like, there are uncanny moments in it, right? Like you start in the Gi sort of cave, and then that transitions weirdly, or like kind of like a dream. It transitions into going into the lab, which obviously those two locations wouldn't be connected, but it's connected within the experience of playing it. And then also Barrett's, you basically just relive walking through town as regular as Barrett, being beloved by the people of Corel, seeing his wife, having that nice moment with his wife, and then it does the weird transition where, now he has his arm missing and it's back to like that part of the experience. But otherwise, you just relive the memory. Yuffie's one is a little strange because you kind of like walk through her past, and then you have that moment at the end where she's confronted with Nero, and like Nero seemingly breaks the fourth wall. Like, you're not just experiencing any kind of like interaction with Nero from the past, like you are, because you're doing it's a revisit to the moment where she steps through the elevator and the elevator doors separate them. But Nero is saying new things to her in that scene. And then Eric's trial is pretty much just reliving the past, for the most part. Because I don't think there's anything really added to it other than maybe when she sort of like, after seeing the memory, there was that moment where she's like by herself, where that's like an added beat. And then Clouds is obviously a lot of manipulation going on with how that one's put together. But either way, there's something fucky happening with this trial, and I don't know what it is exactly. And probably the only way to know what it might be is, oh yeah, Barrett's wife, what's gotten into you. What I took from that is almost like the interactions that he was having, the way he was acting did get genuine responses in the moment. Yeah, probably the only way to really know what's happening here is when we get through Revelation, and then we go back and when we revisit all this stuff, especially this Tifa trial, we might see things in a different way.
Past, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So this got me thinking of a possible new tangent on who this little Cloud is, and it involves Tifa's memories, real Cloud, and the planet. So the little Cloud who's here is pretty much the anchor that Tifa is holding onto whenever she starts doubting the Cloud we now have with us. Tifa holds on to that memory because to her, that's the real Cloud. She knows who she is. This is how he is, and this is the only...
Yeah, I mean, the Cloud trial is, I think, its own thing. I think Cloud's trial is not even sanctioned by the temple, because for everyone else's trial, it does the thing where it like points the beam of light at the character and then they take him into the thing. And then Cloud's trial happens completely separate from that room. So that his trial always felt very separate and like a deliberate manipulation by Sephiroth. That one was always very, very unique.
And this is
because it's almost like the temple can't recreate a trial for Cloud because Cloud doesn't really know who he is. So he can't go through his actual memories. And because of that, he's exempt from the experience. But then Sephiroth intervenes later, you know?
The strongest memory of him
Cloud Strife was like a precursor to the Northern Crater Revelation. Yeah.
she has. It was a little cloud in the night of the water tower. And I think that's why he keeps showing up in her trial, even in places where he isn't supposed to go. And I do believe the planet also comes in here because the planet is trying to tell Tifa, keep on trusting him. Keep on trusting him and keep on believing in the memory of him that you know is real. You know Cloud is real. And we have shown you that this is the real Cloud. We showed you in the live stream that this is the real Cloud. So you need to keep believing. This is what I think the planet is trying to show to Tifa. And then, but I also believe on another tangent.
I will say, I agree with that in terms of what the Gongaga scene did. We talked about it on stream, but it was like, I wondered openly if in the whole Gongaga sequence, we were seeing sort of this back and forth between the planet and Sephiroth, where Sephiroth does this manipulation where Cloud attacks Tifa, almost like trying to take her out, because he's been targeting Tifa the entire game. And he misses. Tifa falls into the live stream, but it's such an extreme act, you know what I mean, for Cloud to attack Tifa. Like, you could very easily walk away from that being like, oh, you know, should I trust Cloud? And so we wondered if, then it's so targeted also how the weapon swallows Tifa. And so we talked about, you know, was that the weapon, the planet's response to Sephiroth overstepping? Like, Sephiroth takes an extreme act to attack Tifa using Cloud, and then the planet does. They're like, okay, so you're trying to fuck with it? You're trying to fuck with this whole situation? You're trying to really break them? All right, let's eat her. Take her to the live stream, show her some like foundational memory to help reinforce trust in Cloud. And so like it seemed like a back and forth between the planet and Sephiroth.
Is that this little Cloud is actually, and this one is a bit far-fetched.
I think this trial, sorry, I keep interrupting Mary's video. I think the trial is very related to the optional dialogue Tifa and Nebel. She speaks of this, not understanding why her dad running after Sephiroth and then understanding him later, and that it was Cloud helped her not to give into fear and doubt. Was that the OST? Was that the conversation in Tifa's room in Nibelheim? Because you said optional dialogue. Because if so, we could rewatch that because I have that clipped. Okay. The Gongaga dip did deliver the original live stream sequence reveal to Tifa and Cloud, and not been the instigator of her fall. Definitely a lot of trust. Yeah, I think it was about reinstilling trust there. Maybe that's why Cloud is excluded from Cetra trials, Genova influence detected. Yeah, I think so. That's also why I think this Genova theory doesn't fully come together for me, is because I don't really think Genova is involved in any of these temple trials. Specifically because the Cloud is exempted, you know?
This little Cloud is a piece of the real Cloud's actual consciousness that the planet gave to Tifa when she was in the live stream for her to safe keep from Sephiroth so that Cloud isn't completely lost by the time we get to Medial. I know this is a stretch. Okay?
The only thing that makes that one tough for me is like how Cloud is behaving. Like if this is supposed to be real Cloud psyche kind of given to her to protect this part of Cloud, and the like how strangely he's behaving doesn't feel like it adds up to that. But
I know, but hey, we don't know the answer, so anything could be real. So yeah, this is what I think. So we're coming up at the end of Tifa's trial, and I'm going to comment here because I didn't pause then, so I don't want to talk over the scene, but I think it's interesting here that Tifa will now word for word repeat what she said when she was 15, you know, monster, soldier, Sephiroth, I hate them all. She's going to repeat that sentence line for line. And I think that's very interesting because the only thing we have to compare it to is Yuffie and Cloud's, which are the ones we've seen before. And Yuffie's and Cloud's reactions are more on the disbelief side. Like they can't believe they're living through this again, and they never recite a line that they said in the past word for word. So I just wanted to point out that I thought that was an interesting choice for Tifa's trial to once again make it stand out a bit more.
And just to reinforce what she's saying here, the other thing that's really interesting is that once again, like, this would have been a perfect opportunity, because we see it in all the other, in most of the other trials, the characters revert to who they were in that moment in the past. So Barrett missing his arm, Red 13 being muzzled and then getting the tattoo, Aerith walking as like little Aerith. Like, they could have very easily, like even in this camera transition,
That I thought that was an interesting
like when it cuts from this view to
choice for Tifa's trial to once again make it stand out a bit more.
When it cuts right here to this view, it could have switched it, right? Like, it could have very easily just made it like this. Let's see. They could have easily just recreated her in this outfit, you know?
Dad.
They could have, she could have reverted to this version of herself, similar to the way that everyone else in the trials like reverts to their old version, but it doesn't. It's still current day Tifa. Oh yeah, and then down here it says she also doesn't revert to her younger self here. Just straight up reliving it. Like, modern Tifa reliving it.
Monsters. Sephiroth. Soldiers. Mako. Shinra. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of all of this!
It is a little strange, like, for her to have the full emotionality, like, and say the same exact thing versus just reverting. I don't know what to make of it, but it is, overall, it's an interesting look at her trial.
So that was my in-depth analysis of Tifa's trial.
So either way, a good little video. I'll just relink it here in chat for everyone. Just an interesting thing, because yeah, her trial is in some ways the most straightforward. But there are different, like, I don't know, it's just things about it that are different and strange to consider. But shout out to Mary for that. I have to run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll check out the Ever Crisis stuff. But I'll also throw out any thoughts on like that video and what you guys thought. Any other theories that you have on her trial. I think we'll get the clearest. It'll be most clear whenever we have part 3. We can just look back on everything. Like, I'm really looking forward. I'll tell you one thing real quick. Oh, let's check out that Tifa dialogue too, the optional dialogue we talked about. The other thing that'll be, there's gonna be like so many interesting little bits here. In when we go back. I mean, what I'm most looking forward to with part 3 is going back through the first 2 games and seeing things that we didn't notice as being like strange or weird or whatever. Like, one of the things that always stood out to me was, where was it? This moment. Because like, it's such a minor thing and it wasn't a plot point in the original, but they made a point of it here, so I assume it'll be something in Revelation, likely in the live stream sequence when they revisit stuff in Nibelheim.
When we got there, Sephiroth locked himself in his room.
The mayor had been looking forward to having dinner with bona fide soldiers, so he didn't take the news too well. Dad had to put up with his belly aching for hours afterward.
Huh?
Huh?
Hmm?
Huh?
Must have
like for them to have like this disconnect, because really what happens in the live stream sequence in a lot of ways too is it's a comparison of memories and like what adds up, what doesn't add up, and then why those things don't add up and why they do add up. And this is a new beat for Nibelheim, like the whole like bit about this dinner that the dad was looking forward to and like the complaining that happens. I mean, for me, I think the clearest thing is like Cloud not remembering a dinner because he wasn't gonna ever be part of a dinner. So that's probably why like he's like, huh? Because I don't remember plans to have dinner. You know what I mean? So that'll probably come up in some way at some point. So all these little moments, all these like little things that we're currently like when we look back on that after part 3, we'll probably be like, oh shit, so that's what they're building here. I was wondering how Tifa escaped from Hojo, and the answer was Zangon found her. First, he wrote her a letter when he go to get her final limit for the piano. Cloud didn't know about the dinner. Yeah, exactly. Actually, the eyeball pull work in this trilogy. Let's look real quick at that optional Tifa dialogue. And then I really do need to use the bathroom. Is that here?
All right.
This one?
The doctor.
Yeah.
Thought about... You know... I never understood it. Why'd my dad go into the reactor? Why chase Sephiroth? Thought about it ever since waking up in Corel. It just seemed like such a bad idea. I mean, what did he think he was gonna do? Fight a famous war hero and win? Well, he didn't. But after moving to Midgar, after making a life for myself, I finally realized where my dad was coming from. He was angry. And he'd had enough. Everything he'd worked so hard for had been destroyed in an instant. All that he'd built for himself, for us, gone. Sephiroth had burned it to the ground. That's why he went, even though he had to have known how it'd end.
I see.
And like him...
God, that's tragic as fuck when you really think about it. You know, like he knew he was screwed, but he just had to, you know?
I took my pain, my grief, everything I was feeling. I took it all and turned it into anger. Anger that led me to Avalanche. The problem is, anger doesn't last. So when Avalanche started to become more violent, there wasn't enough left to hold back the fear and the doubt. It was taking a toll. Then you turned up.
Just walking her dad's footsteps, yeah.
Have I helped you get through it at all?
Yeah, you have. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had the courage to come back here. A lot's happened, but now that we're here, I know this was the right decision. Because now I know they rebuilt everything, tried to sweep what they did under the rug and pretend it never even happened. But I won't let them. I can't. Sephiroth and his cruelty. Shinra and their lies. I'm sick of all of it. Hey, remember when we were kids? How you'd, you know, always be looking at me?
What?
Hot.
Every time we made eye contact, you'd look away. And when I tried to
Oh, this is
talk to
bad
you,
writing.
you'd ignore
Yeah.
me.
Not surprised. I was a pain in the ass as a kid.
I was the opposite. I needed everyone to like me all
God,
the
this will
time.
be revisited in the live stream
Right.
sequence, right? Every time we made eye contact, you'd look away, and when I tried to talk to you, you'd ignore me.
Not surprised. I was a pain in the ass as a kid.
I was the opposite. I needed everyone to like me all the time. Part of me still does, I think. Kinda hate that about myself.
This dialogue right here was like such a, oh yeah, because I remember thinking that. That was actually one of the things that stood out to me when I was reading Dear Destiny, or not Dear Destiny, I was reading Traces. I was like, there's such a hint of like Tifa not, or like being afraid to speak up and like say things that she wants to say. And like that happens in the original too. I remember replaying the original, and I mean it's like a characteristic of her. It's like a trait where she doesn't fully speak up, and then they really hammer that in remake when they're at the bar, after like the avalanche, like before the avalanche meeting, when she's like, I think this is too much, I don't think this is the right way to do things, but she doesn't know if and how she's going to speak up. And then they start to finally, she starts to like speak up in Cosmic Canyon in Rebirth, and the feeling trapped line. But then in Cosmic Canyon, she does start to speak up, and then she gets criticized for it, right? Like Bugenhagen kind of shits on her for it. And then, she tries to communicate it at the big, like, group meeting, and it doesn't connect with people either. There's such an interesting thing. And remember earlier in Rebirth, at one point in the Mithril Mines, she also starts to push back on Baron. She stops herself and she's like, oh, never mind. Like, she, being a people pleaser, as she kind of puts it here, is so interesting. And I'm really looking forward to Revelation, and this kind of keeps up quite a bit, even into like Advent Children, where really her big thing, like her biggest moment, is when she has that zuda, line with Cloud, where it's like, is it us, or is it a memory? Where she confronts him, and she struggles with confronting people on things, whether it's Cloud with his shit, whether it's Barrett with Avalanche stuff. Like, she struggles to like confront people on things. And it's so interesting. And I'm looking forward to in part 3, when hopefully, I think she's going to find her voice a little bit. And she's going to sort of like, hopefully, I mean, she literally has to take leader control of the party at a certain point. So seeing her kind of coming to her own, and not holding back as much as she tends to. So we'll see how that works out. I like the parts where she starts to apologize, stops herself, and just says thank you. Yeah. And like, it's such a good, like, you really get the character beat, you really get the character trait that she is encompassing. Tifa people pleaser, but also such a different childhood experience and behind, popular town darling, but needs that outside feedback. Cloud shy, then ostracized, and resolves to become someone. Yeah, I mean, there was some stuff in her childhood, like, yeah, she was popular and whatnot, but even there were moments, I remember when reading traces, where it was like, oh, she's kind of holding back saying stuff. I can't remember what the exact things were, because it's been a couple years since I read it, but I remember it sticking out. It's going to make Tifa's role as a party leader head so good. Yeah. Who's the Revelation theme going to be directed at? It's going to be directed at everyone, I feel like. Everyone's going to have like a revelation of some kind, for sure. Maybe even Sephiroth. All right, so give me 1 second, chat. I'm just going to run to the bathroom real quick. All right. Should we watch it full screen or like this? Because I might block some dialogue with him like this. You know, I'll watch it like this just because I'm not sure about the dialogue and like where it'll be and if I'll block anything with my face or with chat or whatever. So, real quick, so Before Crisis finally is getting put into Ever Crisis right before it gets turned off. What's going on? That being said, a mobile game remake than a mobile game. Yeah. My only experience with Before Crisis has been watching videos of it, like the original Before FF7 Before Crisis playthrough. This does exist. You can watch it yourself. It's a little rough. This intro is sick though. Do I know why Ever Crisis is shut down? I mean, it's not shut down yet. It'll be shut down probably because not a lot of people are playing it. It's not making a lot of money. It's another failed mobile experiment from Square Enix. One of many. Actually, I saw somebody post a stat that like 83% of mobile games fail, basically. So it's not too surprising. But it's good to actually get the story in a form other than this. This animation was always cool, though. I mean, the fact that it's not living up to through Revelation just tells me how bad it is. Like, it's doing so bad that they can't even they literally are going to keep it afloat for as long as they possibly can financially. But it's probably already stretched. It's probably a money loser right now for them. So. Yeah. This shit still goes hard though. I love this art right here. This is really why I pulled this up. Chat, they've been trying to make you play mobile games for FF7 for decades at this point. But like this, until this Ever Crisis remake, this has been the only way to sort of experience the story of Before Crisis. Why is it so fucking dark? There we go. This has been the only way to experience it. It's been rough. This is a bit rough. There's some good story beats in it, but now we finally have it in a new form. So let's see. I haven't seen this at all yet, aside from just scrubbing through to get like a thing for the thumbnail. And then the only things I really know about Before Crisis are stuff related to Rufus, and Elfie, and there's like a lot of like small character things. Like I know Cloud's in it at one point, Zach's in it, like all the Turks are in it. A lot of the details are, I don't know, we'll see. Shinra Electric Power Company, a private enterprise so powerful as to control the politics of the world. In such organizations, there are always those that support it from the shadows. In Shinra, those that take on special assignments to protect the company's secrets are members of the General Affairs Auditing Department, also known as the Turks. The story of another crisis leading up to that day is about to begin. This is Afromia. I've arrived at Sector 8, and I believe in the original game her name was Emma, from what people have said. Not the easiest name that they chose, but is a story about the Turks, mostly, yeah. About the Turks, Avalanche, a lot of stuff. And you're ready for your first assignment. Keep the area secure. Hold on, it's a bit loud. Understood. The first assignment is always keeping Sector 8 secure. That's Turks' tradition, isn't it? I see you've done your homework. The veterans above you, Reno, Rude, and of course myself, all started our careers this way. And the OG, she was originally named Gun. I could have swore people said, like, Shiner Archaeology was telling me this character was Emma before, but I don't know. I'll put all that I've learned to good practice and carry out the assignments to the best of my ability. Don't get too tense. It'll affect your performance negatively. Try to always keep a cool head. FF7 is so weird because they'll have a character named Afromia and then they'll have like a character named like fucking Glenn. You know, like... Hey Chief, how's your first assignment going? Matt. Yeah, Matt. And then, who's the other guy in the DLC? I can't remember. Rod, this is your first assignment too. And my Turk's designation isn't Chief, it's Afromia. It's maybe not even her real name. It's like a Turk's name, as she said. Billy Bob. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. Hold up. Better hide, Chief. This fake Reno over here. Well, infantry, yeah. In Before Crisis originally, basically all the characters were named after like a weapon. Like Rod was a rod, gun, stuff like that. We'll infiltrate the reactor as planned. This operation has been years in the making. We can't fail. This is Avalanche. Emma's from Last Order. Okay. Finally, we'll have our vengeance on Shinra. Today, they face their punishment. Vengeance on Shinra. Punishment. Chief, it looks like they're targeting the reactors. Are they, though? Because I thought only the Splinter Cell was targeting the reactors. Like our group. Those uniforms, they're Turks. Damn, they hurt us. We can't let them live. Damn. Alright, so it's not even combat, they're just like, do it in cutscene. You rabble couldn't take down Shinra in a million years. Rod, wait, over there. Turks, we'll just have to fight through them. Shinra must be punished. Was anything changed? I don't know, actually. What's up, Tiff? I don't remember Before Crisis that well, like story-wise. So I can't even tell what's changed or not. So I'd have to like rewatch the Before Crisis shit, but like I said, right now it's just like a crazy mobile phone capture on YouTube, and I haven't watched it in like 5 years, so. Well, there's a whole lot of them. Still won't let them take the reactor, though. Oh, and the real Reno showed up. There was like bootleg Reno. We were like running around with bootleg Reno for a second, and now real Reno's here. Hey, rookies. Looks like you got a live one on your first day. I hope you secure the reactor, but I'm not doing any overtime. Let's make this quick. Yeah, supposedly one of these characters is like Elena's sister. I think it might be her, but I'm not sure. Timu Reno? Yeah. Very impressive, Reno. Your reputation as the fastest of the Turks is well deserved. Who said that? Oh shit. That speed of yours means nothing against me. Well, we're just gonna have to find out, won't we? Isn't this a treat? Alright then, show me what the Turks are made of. Oh shit, he put him down. Reno, are you protecting us? Run, rookies. You two are next. What a pathetic plot. It's so interesting too that like I genuinely think there's no fucking combat in this version of like in the Before Crisis. They're not even bothering. They're like, this game is dying. It's just all cutscenes, I think. What a pathetic lot. I don't stand a chance right now. I'll put you out of your misery soon enough, and then you'll rule the complicity in Shinra's crimes. There isn't combat, yeah. Sir, a message from Commander Fujito. The operation has entered phase 2. We're to assemble immediately. Looks like we're ahead of schedule. Alright then, I'm on my way. Cheers, that's this dude's name. Hey, wait! Yeah, they're just putting the plot out there. Were we not even worth killing? Who were they? When Intermission came out, we thought Billy Bob would have been Shears because of the hat. Really? Hold on. Director, we were able to identify the group that targeted the reactor. The name of their organization is Avalanche. Details are still unclear, but they appear to be quite a large-scale operation. Avalanche. Have you been able to track their movements? It appears they're gathering at Junon. I guess this dude is the head of the Turks here versus Sung, and Sung took his role, I assume. I see. So the reactor was a diversion. President Shen is in Junon right now. He's the real target. Like I said, a lot of this is going to be kind of new to me because I don't remember too much. President Shinra is scheduled to attend a press conference in Junon. Avalanche operatives have already bypassed heavy security to attempt an assassination. This is 30. It sounds like 1930, but that's just way too long ago. Mr. President, Avalanche has already infiltrated the area. You must cancel the press conference and evacuate. No! Shinra does not cower to threats. If these vermin want to stand against us, crush them like the insects they are. As you wish, Mr. President. All hands will be put to the task. Reno, Afromia, Rod, protect the president at all costs until the conference broadcast is finished. Yeah, the Avalanche uniforms and remake are from Before Crisis, yeah. That's been a connection to all that. Yeah, that was always a connection to Before Crisis lore. It won't be possible, I'm afraid. Fujito. Greetings. The name's Fujito of Avalanche. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. But sadly, this is also our final farewell. You two take care of this clown. I'll take the president to safety. Does the president know the Turk's real names? Possibly. Oh yeah, that's right. That's another thing. Is like even what's her face? Cisne was like, that's not even my real name. So all these names are just all these Turks names, like kind of mentioned earlier. Like Afromia was like, oh, that's my Turk's name. So all their names are just handles, you know. I wouldn't stand in my way if I were you. Tch! I'll finish you two off soon enough, but for now, enjoy the pyrotechnic show. Over-under odds we'll see for Doe or Elfie in Revelation. Probably pretty low. Fairly low. I'd probably put it like 20%. Only just because there's so much. I mean, they might put him in like a side quest or whatever, but I think people have these ideas of all these characters and all these things that'll be included in Revelation in some way. And just like something's got to get cut at a certain point. Like there's way too much that hasn't been included yet. And for them to sort of like jam in. And if they do jam it in, it might be like in a side quest or something. Like personally, I don't care too much about like seeing things that are just compilation references. Like they're cool if they work naturally. You know what I mean? But I don't need them to like shove in a bunch of stuff. Of anybody, I would want Elfie. Because I want Elfie more than I want Genesis. But I just don't know if we'll get them, because I don't know if the reason will be good enough to try to get them into the game, you know? Rod, let's go. We may be rookies, but we're still Turks. Failure is not an option. Yeah, we can't let the other new Turks take our glory. Yeah, they were like player characters originally. Should be safe now. This area is highly secured. Looks like you had some trouble, old man. I was watching through the company's security system. Rufus, quite the rare occasion for you to be contacting me first. Actually, it's Reno that I want to talk to. Some Turks that I've never seen before were doing some fine work. Both are rookies on their first day on duty, sir. Sidearm expert Afromia and Billy Club expert, Billy Club expert Rod, were charged with protecting the president. I'll remember those names. Tell them I have high hopes for them, but keep up the good work. Chapter 1 of Remake, Heidegger mentions them trying to determine if the same group that tried to take his life. Yeah. This is what Heidegger was referring to. Yeah. Reports say the threat's still ongoing. Good luck, old man. The threat is ongoing. Pardon me. Like, probably one of the coolest Before Crisis things, because there's a lot of like little Before Crisis things in Remake, and I think that's an example. The other one, so spoiler for Before Crisis, they probably don't, I don't know if they have it in this, like in this version of it, yet, or if it's in a future scene. So sorry, but I guess spoilers for that is in the Yuffie DLC. So basically, the one thing I remember from Before Crisis, I'm just going to spoil it, is I remember FF7 Rebirth intermission DLC playthrough. No commentary. One thing that I do know is that it reveals that it reveals that Rufus is basically behind Avalanche. And so that was like a really cool nod to it in this scene where GJ is getting interrogated.
Ready to do this, boss?
Born ready.
Great. I'll draw their attention. You grab our guy.
A diversion, huh? I like it. But don't forget, I'm the leading lady.
Hell?
It's before this.
Heidegger?
That information.
So obviously GG has like information he shouldn't
Who gave
have.
you that information? Oh, his name was something like Heidegger?
Wrong answer!
I'm gonna ask you again.
All right, I'll tell you.
It was Rufus. You don't say. You don't. Again.
So it's like he literally was telling. The thing is, he's so confident that they won't believe him that he just says it, even though there's like, it's definitely the truth. The thing is, like, it's totally true what he's saying here, but the way that they play this is so well, because you see him just not believing him, but he literally told him the truth.
It was Rufus. You don't say.
It's a nice little nod to Before Crisis lore. We meet again, President Shinra. I do hope that at this point you've accepted your fate. I promise that the pain will only be for an instant. There's no need to fear death. It is but a homecoming for the soul. What the fuck? Wait, what? It's Sephiroth, chat. This ain't some guy named Fajito. This is Sephiroth. Interesting that this line is coming up like this here. Hey, blocked the bullet. Ooh. Bravo, Turk. Bravo. The homecoming line, I don't remember it being an OG or Crisis. I think that's new. I think it was added to this game. It may not even be in the Japanese version, honestly. Because the homecoming thing is also new to homecoming thing is also a localization thing. From what I remember, it doesn't exactly say that in Japanese, but you came much earlier than expected, but I've already accomplished my objective. Stop. It is a retcon, I think. So his objective wasn't even to kill him necessarily, because he's like, I already accomplished my objective. Huh. Mr. President, Avalanche has commandeered the Mako cannon. Raise the security level from A to S. Already on it, sir. You've all done well. I'll take over protection of the president. You go and take back control of the Mako cannon. You got it. Roger. Understood. They have to be crushed. Do whatever it takes. Reno and Rod lead a group of rookies on a frontal assault against the Avalanche forces occupying Junon, while Afromia infiltrates the Mako cannon control room. So I assume that's shortcutting some stuff in the mobile game. A to S. S is for selfie. Evercrisis made heavy cuts and changes to the BC source material. I mean, that makes sense. They're like squeezing this thing out. They're very much like just squeezing this thing out in the very last second of like the life of this whole project. Funny he used the Sephiroth line, considering Sephiroth ultimately kills President Shinra. Yeah. Where's the cannon control panel? I got you, that being said, yeah. Afromia, good work. We've confirmed that the cannon has aborted its firing sequence. Huh? I haven't touched any of the cannon controls yet. The enemy troops in the control room had been eliminated. It's possible that whoever was here first aborted the sequence. You know what? I'll actually do the full screen just because I don't think I've really been in a position yet. My face has been in a position to block much, so might as well. Could it have been? No, that was way too fast, even for Romeo. Go to the engineering room and confirm our status. Understood. Elfie! Were you the one who did this? Did you kill my comrades? Oh my god, the music. Comrades? You're Avalanche too? My shots aren't going through. Who in Kingdom Hearts is that? The baddest bitch in Before Crisis. Your life for the lives of my comrades. Death to Shinra. Ooh. Can't end like this. Nowhere left to run. Oh, I read that like a threat. Accept your fate. Oh shit, fate, chat. That's quite enough. You. The Silver Soldier, Sephiroth. Ah, your guard holds. I will say this looks even more bad. It actually looks more badass in the original version on the Nokia. Like when Sephiroth attacks her, it almost like creates a little bit of a crater, and like he's like, "Wow, you held your guard." I mean, he says basically the same thing, but it actually is a little bit more badass, weirdly enough, in the Nokia version. I could find it. It is a woman. Yeah. Shoot. Elfie scene before Crisis. Find it that way. Elfie Sephiroth. Because I don't know where it is in the full playthrough. It's kind of like... There's no way I'm going to find it in here. I feel like it's later, though. I feel like this conversation happens later. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to find it. But it is very cool in the way it looks in the original. I am Elfie, leader of Avalanche, Punisher of Shinra. Shinra will face our judgment, I promise you. I withdraw for now, but our victory is near. Like, she literally, like... It doesn't depict it that great, but she basically goes toe-to-toe with fucking Sephiroth, which is sick. You, Turk, inform your superiors that this lot should not be underestimated, especially that leader. Her powers were notable. Like, fucking how cool is that? Like, Sephiroth's being like, she's legit. Like, you shouldn't underestimate these guys. That leader, that fucking Elfie, she's kind of sick. That's why I want Elfie more than anybody else. I want Elfie more than Genesis. Alright, so man, see ya. Sephiroth, Elfie. It's hard to believe that either are human. Good work today, everyone. We wouldn't have survived this endless barrage of crises had it not been for your keen judgment. Obviously, shotguns, double guns, knives, nunchucks, when the rookies worked together, were no joke. My colleagues performed so admirably, yet I couldn't accomplish anything. Everything I was charged with was done by Sephiroth. Sephiroth was sent directly by the President. That's how dire the situation was. Avalanche's attacks will no doubt grow more intense in the coming days. There are those that feel rightly aggrieved by our company. We provide a service that only we can, maintaining balance in our society. That's why Shinra needs to be protected, and we Turks will continue to provide that protection through means that only we can use. Roger, yes sir. Video 8 from that playlist. I still have it open? Should I close it? Well, I think I closed it anyway. Oh, wait. Okay. Let's see. Video 8. Yeah, Elfie's here. Oh, look how raw this was. Look at this blood. That must have been the scene that we just saw with her and... Oh, right here, right here. You're right. This is the original version of this. Shotgun. Resign yourself to your fate. This doesn't look good. Judgment upon Shinra. That's as far as you go. It couldn't be. You? Oh, so you managed to block my attack. Doesn't it look fucking cooler? This looks so much cooler, like the crater that it makes. Some Dragon Ball shit. Oh, so you managed to block my attack. Ugh, so it was you. Silver-haired soldier, Sephiroth. And you are? My name is Elfie, the leader of Avalanche. She's their leader? Sephiroth, why do you fight? He has no answer. We fight for a reason. Thus, for the sake of victory, we now retreat. I survived somehow. Hey, you. I felt an exceptional strength in her. Tell your superiors not to take her lightly. Fighting for a reason, huh? So that stuck like a little bit of a beat. It kind of does add up with Before Crisis, right? Or Crisis Core, where he's starting to like question things. Like in Crisis Core, he's even like, you know, I might abandon Shinra. And I think that was a little bit more like Genesis in his whole thing, but there have been seeds being planted in him. Shinra resolves to bolster their countermeasures against Shinra. One such measure is to increase soldier recruitment, and the Turks are put in charge of this task. Though interference from Avalanche at Costa del Sol, their target recruitment area, led to the loss of candidates, the Turks do manage to secure one promising candidate named Azul. I haven't played the OG Before Crisis, but don't you get to choose the type of player Turk? I don't really. I never played it either. My only exposure to it is through that Nokia upload. But I do think I have a vague recollection of you being able to choose. Like I feel like I've heard people say that, so I think so. While the Turks are busy on assignment, Avalanche continues their campaign of destruction, backing Shinra into a corner, little by little. It's 2001, a year before Crisis Core. Got it. Now, let's move on to Avalanche activity damage report. Repair costs for the Mongol cannon, rebuilding costs caused by multiple small-scale attacks in various regions, they have become exorbitant. Bordeaux, why aren't you able to crush this insufferable group already? What are the Turks doing? It's cool to see more of the background on like how Avalanche and like the conflicts between Avalanche and Shinra leading up to all of this. Because you get a sense that they've been doing stuff up to this point in especially Remake, because you get to actually see the wider Avalanche group, but you don't get all this background, you know? We are continuing to gather intel on possible upcoming attacks and the location of their headquarters. The nunchuck gameplay? What is nunchuck gameplay? Oh, nunchuck? I mean, you can post it. I mean, the link won't go through because YouTube, for whatever reason, blocks links. So, you could post the name of it if people want to find it. Old man, I mean, Mr. President, it seems like Avalanche has more trouble than you can handle. Rufus, you can't show up to meetings in person, but you still want to run your mouth. What concern is it of yours, so far away? Maybe that's why his objective wasn't actually to kill his father. Or maybe that's why Fujito, when he came in, was like, well, I already did my job. I think it's more to cause instability, to maybe cause distrust in President Shinra. At least that's maybe his first move. Like, Rufus's first move is trying to instill distrust and maybe get the leadership to sort of elect him to run Shinra rather than his father. Hence him being like, you know, it's too much for you. And then when that fails, maybe it then goes a step further and tries to kill him. I'm not sure. I'm just still trying to remember, because I did think that he wanted to get his father killed. Hence the assassination attempt. But maybe I'm misremembering. And that's only later on. Like as a last resort, because he's not able to take over any other way. I'm not sure. You're the one who's keeping me away from the main office. As vice president, I can't just stand idly by and ignore this predicament. There's one question that I have. Why does Avalanche appear whenever the Turks are sent on assignment? Bordeaux, is there a possibility of a leak? I think Rufus is developing the SRC with Glenn at this point, according to recent lore. Yeah, I've heard some of the real lore people kind of disturbed by how the SRC and Avalanche overlap, but I don't fully know all the details. That is something we are investigating. If these Avalanche countermeasures keep being put on the back burner like this, the president may have to take responsibility. Are you saying I should step down? Yeah. No, I wouldn't go that far. Not at present, at least. Yeah, he's just like mucking shit up. Bordeaux, just find these vermin and eradicate them immediately. Yes, sir. The full resources of the Turks will be used to that end. (2001) June 28th. Afromia is charged with the protection of Professor Rayleigh, who holds top secret information on Shinra when they were assaulted by Avalanche, who introduces a new threat. Cloud! Avalanche, hold it right there. You better hand her over if you want to live. Never! Baby boy. Trooper, you can fall back. I'll handle this. Negative. I'm on the professor's protection detail too. Cloud trying to like step up, Cloud trying to be the hot shit. And I have a name. It's Cloud. He looks like he's like being he looks so small in the uniform. Like he like it looks like he's like drowning in it. Baby boy. This Rayleigh is a diabolic creation monster we fight in intermission, by the way. Oh, I think I remember hearing something about that. Holy shit, chat. So yeah, this character turns into the diabolic creation. Crazy. Ha! Why won't that Avalanche Trooper in black stay down? Ah! That was a crazy reveal for Before Crisis nerds. Got it. Get away from Professor Rayleigh. Thank you so much for the sub, Silly Dabbit. 7 months. Thank you so much. Howdy sub. How's it going? Good Sunday? Yeah, it's just a Sunday chill day, you know? Don't move. If you move, she's dead. Director Bordeaux, an Avalanche Trooper clad in black, has captured Professor Rayleigh. Our attack seemed to have no effect on him. Can you retrieve the data that she has in her possession? She's been taken hostage. Her hands are tied. Don't misinterpret the assignment. What's important is the data, not the professor. Do you understand? Yes, understood. Professor, take cover. Hey, you, what are you doing? Cloud, what are you doing? Don't interfere. Cloud's gonna get gutted. No, we can't put the professor in danger. I'm her bodyguard. Damn it, I'll protect her. Stupid kid. He should be a problem. But you're a different story. Is this Elfie? Out of my way. Backup's here. You can leave this guy to me, Chief. You go after the professor. Cloud getting fucked up. Ugh. Give the professor back. Cloud, use your gun. All they have are fists. Just shoot them in the face. You don't know when to quit. I guess you're looking to die. Stop right there. You could have done that, Cloud. Don't you have a gun? Fucking useless. Are you alright, Cloud? Why are you putting the professor in danger? The data that the professor holds is very dangerous. If it falls into Avalanche's hands, it may cause untold death and destruction. Cloud living out his I need to protect people in order to become somebody and matter to people. Yeah. You're willing to sacrifice the professor to get it? Cloud, say thank you, ungrateful shit. I didn't say that. You put her in harm's way. Looks like you're sacrificing her to me. Oh, looks like you're sacrificing her to me. Afromia, status. Did you get the data? I've secured the professor. Secure the data. Good. Now take her data and get out of there. Just you. A unit of those Avalanche troopers in black, under the direct command of Fajito, are headed your way. Evac with the data at once. They're here already? I'll take care of them. You take the professor to safety. Alright, Cloud. Cloud. Baby boy. Afromia, hurry. I will say, I feel like Afromia is bad at her job. Just like straight up. She's taking a very long time. Just get the stupid data. It's all you have to do is get the data from her. Director, your signal is breaking up. I can't confirm your orders. Cutting comms for now. It's the same order he's been telling you for like 20 minutes. Cloud, take the professor to safety. Protect her at all costs. No, get the data. That is your order. All right, on my life. I'll keep her safe. How will you do that when your attacks do nothing? Out. Well, I guess they're vulnerable in the back or in the ass. You weren't hurt. Good. You two lay low. I'm gonna wipe out the rest of the Avalanche troops with my backup. That's not your order. That is not what you've been told to do. So many of them. She's just a gamer. She just wants to fight. She just wants to grind levels. She's like, I'm getting so much XP. For though, I would do what you say, but I get so much more XP this way. Just trying to be a good person. I know, I'm just fucking around. After Romeo, I'll fight too. Cloud, you were a lifesaver. You were fearless in the face of such an overwhelming enemy. I don't remember most of it. That was why I was really desperate. I just love how they've abandoned the professor. I assume the professor is safe off camera, but she could not be. You should get back to the professor. I'll keep watch here. It's two contrasts between Shinra Lapdog and them actually caring for others. Cloud grinding here too, yeah, trying to get into soldier. Yeah. Professor Bailey? The trooper you defeated rose up and took the data. Like, look, I get it. I get the character development. It's just so funny to me. You know what's funny? The reason it's funny to me is like, because yes, in like she's trying to be a good person. She's listening to Cloud. She's like, okay, I'm gonna protect the professor, not just do what I'm supposed to do. Even the thing that like I'm not hearing you thing could have been an excuse, right? Like her signal's probably fine. She's like, I can't hear your order. The thing is, she could have easily done both. Like she could have taken the data, and also like try to keep the professor safe. But anyway, I digress. That's impossible. To get up after having been defeated like that, he would have to be immortal. Mission failed. She lost her job. I think most of the problem is the shortened dialogue, having to jump to the point. Yeah, maybe. Multitasking is an alien concept. No wonder we have Elena in the remake trilogy and not Ephromia. We've seen exactly why. He's so competent here, it highlights that this is that it was psych reasons that he wasn't inducted into soldier, or plot reasons. Yeah, I think it was definitely a psyche for sure. Hey, why did you choose to protect the professor over the data? You could have that data right now if you didn't do it. Oh, he's literally asking the question. Because you taught me how Turks should do their job. I don't remember teaching you anything. Oh, Cloud. Teaching doesn't always have to be done with words. You're a fine trooper, Cloud. Cloud trying to save the writing. Wishing each other's success, Ephromia and Cloud would go on to their next assignments. Meanwhile, Avalanche had acquired new intel on Soldier from the data they stole. Were focusing their efforts on finding a new target. Yeah, what do they do with that Soldier data? I assume we'll find out. 2002, January 14th, 2 a.m. Or February 14th. The frontline base at Icicle Inn has been attacked by Avalanche and destroyed. The Soldier operatives in charge of security have gone... Hold on. The frontline base at Icicle Inn has been attacked by Avalanche and destroyed. The Soldier operatives in charge of security have gone missing, and Ephromia is sent to investigate. Was that a handshake or a fist bump? It was a handshake. Every day, this planet hurdles ever faster. Oh, words aren't the only way, maybe. This is the result of Shinra's plundering and overuse of Mako energy. The life of the planet being drained by Shinra must be compensated for with the lives of those affiliated with that heinous organization. It's an interesting concept, right? It's like wiping out Shinra in order to sort of like restore the lives that have been sucked up. This is the mission of Avalanche, and your duty as Ravens to see it through. Now go, Tierce. The duty is clear, sir. So, there's Ravens in Avalanche. While investigating the destruction of the Icicle Inn base, Ephromia discovers the location of an Avalanche base and successfully infiltrates. This is... It's like the tanks that obviously Cloud and Zack are put into. You must be the missing Soldier operatives, Sebastian and Essay. How could the base have fallen with Soldier operatives defending it? The enemy assaults consisting of only 2 troopers. Soldier losing to average troopers? I find that hard to believe. Can you describe these troopers? They were dressed entirely in black. There we go. 15-year-old Cloud fumbling the bag here. This female Turk. Women throwing themselves at Mr. Strife for years and it just bounces off. The Avalanche troopers in black. They were put in these pods too. Maybe a device that enhances their abilities. We may have something similar at Soldier. Or we have something similar at Soldier. I wonder what class they were. Probably 3rd class or 2nd class. Sung, I found the 2 missing Soldier operatives at an Avalanche base. They were being kept in pod-like devices filled with an unidentified liquid. According to the operatives, the Avalanche troopers in black were also put into these pods. Pods? In any case, I want you all to return to the temporary base set up at Icicle Inn. Understood. Some shitty 3Cs. Yeah. Oh! Ah! Death to Shinra. Slice that bullet. Got some moves. Shot him in the ass. The ass is the vulnerable spot, chat. As we keep learning in all these interactions, the ass is the vulnerable spot, but it's not forever damage, you know? I won somehow. I have to get out of here. Yeah, before he wakes up. Now they're right there. Oh, what the fuck? It got cut off. That's not on me. It's literally the YouTube video. That's the edge of it. Appears she's more capable than I expected. Some enhancements may be in order. This is like straight up Crisis Core music, isn't it? Ah! She found two soldiers in weird pause and she isn't taking samples or photos. How? I beat him definitively. Shouldn't you have learned this, Afromia? Like literally in the last situation where you and Cloud, where you shot a soldier, an Avalanche, clad in black. You shot him in the ass and he got right back up. Oh, sorry. That is a concept, Afromia, known as foreshadowing. You could have taken that forward with you. It wasn't this ridiculous in the original. This is heavily cut and changed. Okay. Avalanche making Ravens next here, their own version of Soldier. I'm very curious how, if we'll see Ravens, because I don't think we see any Ravens so far in the Rainbow Trilogy. That's a Shinra. Is he immortal? Yeah, move your ass. Is that so strange to you? Right, I would expect the music to die down in the middle of this conversation. Fajito. The Ravens, the troopers under my direct command, are quite the rare birds indeed. You saw the pods, didn't you? Put a Raven in one of those and they come back to life. No matter how many times you defeat them, they can never truly be destroyed. However, I have no use for defective troopers that can't even defeat a Turk. Send him back to the planet. Knight. Knuff. He's Knuff. He gave his life for the planet, so he must have felt quite honored. So you're not able to kill them unless you really want to kill them, because he just killed them. Now, without further ado, it is your turn. Give your life for the planet. Afromia, this way. So she runs. Very well then. We will move the operation to the next phase. It's just dumb. It's pretty weak. There is cool lore though. Like all the stuff with Rufus is very interesting, I feel like. Elfie as a character is cool. Mr. President, we discovered a key Avalanche base in the Icicle Inn area. And send Sephiroth. He's on another assignment, thus unavailable. Then send other soldiers. I want that base flattened immediately. By the way, canonical seating positions. Like this is really literally every time we see a scene in Shinra HQ, like of the Shinra leadership, they're always sitting in the same spots. Better watch BCOG. Yeah, I mean, we could. I don't have that much time today anyway, so I don't really care that hard. I mean, I've seen it a long time ago. I just don't remember it that much. Everyone here? Are you the soldier operative that was sent to lead this operation? So Zach is... Yeah, name's Zach. Pleasure to meet you. And you guys are? Afromia of the Turks. I'm here to assist in taking down the Avalanche base. Same here. Rod of the Turks. Look forward to working with you. If Zach is here with the Buster Sword, this is during Crisis Core, right? Sometime after Angeal died? Either yes, or they just don't care enough about the timeline to make all of that come together. Because I thought this was before Crisis Core. It's literally 2002, right? Isn't that the... Wait. What date was given to this? There was some date. Was this dated? I don't think it was. Oh yeah, 2002. Wait, no. This is 4 months after Angeal died. Oh, okay. Is it? When the fuck did Crisis Core happen? FF7 timeline. Oh yeah, because it's like years before. Because then yeah. 2002. So this is January 2002. In this timeline, so in autumn of 2001, events of Chapter 5 of Crisis Core, Zack heads to Medeoheim on a mission where he meets Cloud. Then Zack finds and battles Genesis, knocking him to the life stream while the group apprehends Hollander. Zack defeats Angeal, inheriting the Buster Sword. So yeah, this does line up actually. Because this is January, or this is January, and then literally in autumn is what it says. He gets the Buster Sword from Angeal. Looking forward to working with you. Now that Zack's here, we have nothing to worry about. This operation should be a cakewalk for him. Yeah, he's first class and everything. Nah, come on, Sebastian. We all have to work together to get the best results. That's a very Zack-like thing to say, but you're right, of course. We're all making it back to Midgar in one piece. Now everyone get ready to roll out! Have to have the energy for Zack. While heading to the Avalanche base, the group is attacked by monsters. Zack and Afromia let the vehicles go on ahead, and after they deal with the monsters, follow suit. What happened here? Are you alright? What happened? The troopers in black. The Ravens. They ambushed us. Where's Sebastian and SIE? They took them. Zack! Director, the base assault team was attacked by an elite enemy unit, the Ravens. The team was decimated, and Rod was injured as well. How did this happen? Wasn't Soldier with you? The Ravens ambushed the team and took Sebastian and SAE. Zack is out there trying to track them. An ambush. So we do have a leak. Afromia, go and assist Zack. Rod, stand by and keep watch at the base entrance. Yeah, I hope they get winter clothes too. In Revelation. So will we see the Ravens and Alfie and Wutai, because they haven't been mentioned at all in Remake or Rebirth? I hope so. At the very least, I hope Alfie, because as far as from what I remember, I feel like Alfie and Verdot went into hiding, I believe, at the end of Before Crisis, but I can't remember exactly. Romeo infiltrates the Avalanche base once again looking for Zack, but is unable to find him. She finds herself back. Oh shit! She finds herself back in the laboratory where she found Sebastian and SIE. It actually would be cool. You know, it would be cool. It would be cool to see the Ravens engaging in the Wutai Shinra war. You know what I mean? Like that would be cool. SIE, Sebastian, you were put into those pods again. Are you both all right? Stand up. Oh, they've been controlled. Wait, stop. It's me, Afromia. Something's wrong. Did Avalanche do something to you? Afromia, fall back. Zack. SIE, Sebastian, do you know who I am? And it's kind of cool that they get to like puppeteer them. That's kind of sick. I don't know how the fuck this is happening, but it's kind of cool. I suspect Scarlet, after hearing her racist sentiments again in my replay of DLC and Deep Crown, will be involved in the Wutai attack. Yeah. 100% would like to see this stuff come up from Wutai's side in Revelation. It's me, Zack. How are they controlling them? I assume that's explained at some point. No, I'm happy. Happy they're still alive. Oh. They're snapping out of it, maybe? SIE, Sebastian, come on, remember. Did you do this to them? Fucking mosquito. Answer my question. Telepathy? Oh, maybe. If they considered a from the ground up remake of Crisis Core, the Ravens could have been involved in Wutai 2, a very tough sell, but I'd be all for it. Remake locations, etc. Yeah, oh yeah, Zack definitely doesn't want to kill them for sure. That's a Shinra. Do you not have any human thoughts? If there were monsters, I'd... There's no use, Zack. Ah! Shot him in the ass again. It's a go-to move. Shoot him in the ass. Say, Sebastian, come on, stay with me. Yeah. Zack, it was always fun with you around. I'm glad I got to talk to you at the end. Come on, don't say it's the end. We still have fun together tomorrow. We'll still have fun together tomorrow and the next day, and... Self-destruct sequence initiated. This is all very funny. They lured us in here so they could blow up the place with us inside? No wonder it's deserted. That's kind of a cool plan, though. Zack, we have to evacuate. You go first. I'll catch up. Come on, Zack. He's crying. Bendito, he'll be fine. We know he'll be fine because he's in Crisis Core. He's collecting their swords. Her soldier. The Wutai War is by far the most anticipated part of Revelation. It's such a good opportunity to bring the political and economical perspectives that were sidelined from Disc 2 and OG, for sure. Yeah. No near today, yeah, because I literally have to jump. I have to get off stream anyway in like an hour and a half. Everything's turned to ash. We should get back, Zack. Maybe a little bit longer, but we'll see. You two go back to base. I've got one last shot to do. It's a cool little tribute, though. Make sure to come back before you freeze. Oh, they actually do acknowledge the cold. I never got how soldiers were controlled here. Yeah, I don't know if they explain it at some point. Maybe they do it at a certain point. But Fujito tapping into J cells control somehow, I guess. His gravesite is actually in Crisis Core in one of the sung flashbacks in the game. Oh, that's right. I do remember that. See you guys. I'll come back soon. With the operation ending in failure, Rufus suggests there is a leak and heavily criticizes the president. The president, in turn, puts the blame on Verdot, who is stripped of his position. Ah. Why are you being dismissed, Director? The operation's failure wasn't your responsibility. They skip so much here? Oh, really? The brass have made their decision. I have to accept it. Director, wait. What will happen to the Turks? We'll definitely do a thing at a certain point. What I'll probably do is I'll probably get like a summary and like key screenshots of like the differences between this and the original. Obviously I wasn't able to do that for this stream, but probably in a future stream. You're in charge now. As the song takes over. Director! And that's it. That's the first chapter of Before Crisis. I think they're doing like three chapters of releases. There's still a whole lot more, including, from what I remember, like an entire like world destroying fucking super boss also gets put into this game. Because of course, there's the attack from whatever it's called. Next chapter will be next month. Yeah, so they have to. There's only 3 more months really of this game, so they have to cut them out pretty quick. But all right, let me run to the bathroom real quick. This is cool. And then we will check out. We'll just play a little Rebirth, just like fuck around in the game. Nothing too big. Because I have to end stream a little bit early today, but see you in a second. There was always like a kind of a back and forth with his name, from what I understand. Like I always heard both. I don't remember exactly where, but I do know Verdot was like one way he was called. I know Veld was another way too, but Verdot was also a thing at one point, from what I remember. I don't know how. I don't remember. I don't know if it's a translation thing or what. But all right. Let's load up some Rebirth. It's been a while. It's been a really long time since we've loaded up. We're not going to do anything crazy today because I don't have a ton of time. So we might just do some like side quests, maybe some Queensblood, or we'll just go with the flow. You know what I mean? It was called Veld in Last Order. Yeah. I do remember Verdot being a name too at one point. I have my frame rate up there. Hold on, let me. Actually, it might be good to see it a little bit. You know, I'll move myself. I don't know what that is. All right. Will the starting screen of Revelation be Cloud's sword and live stream? Yeah, I wonder. I do wonder what it'll be. All right. Let's see. I have quests here to do apparently. Still. Let's see what's so there's a lot of stuff undone in this PC version of the game. They did all this stuff in Rebirth and then on PS5. We have a lot of this stuff. We don't have, we still have to finish some of the whatever the fuck it's called, the proto materia quests or proto relic quests. There's some side quests also. What region would be cool to do? Well, we only have 2 in the grasslands to do, 2 in Junons to do. We've all the Gongago quests still. Some Cosmic Canyon, some Corel. You know, it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do the cat one. It's fun to experience that for the first time because you actually get, it's the only time you get to play the piano and have the cats in the background. Then Gaga has the chicken quests. Yeah. Let's do like some best hits. We can just like run around. Oh, I'm getting some stutter. Getting some stutter. And I have the all those mods put in. I did the mods thing where the new DX12 mod, I have that installed. I also have the it might just be because I haven't been in Nibelheim in a while. And I also have the what's it called? I disabled rebar in the BIOS because apparently disabling that in the BIOS is supposed to help it run smoothly. But streaming always like added a little bit of an extra thing. Given such rebirthing forever, yeah, it's been a long time. Esoteric Secrets of the Elders. Oh, the Chocobo Sage, that's right. I mean, I'll just take all of them. The Singing Head Chef. Unsupervised. Lament of the Damned. Tell me you've heard it too, the woman in the manor weeping or wailing or, I don't know. I don't want to know, really. Oh, this is the Vincent quest, isn't it? Lament of the Damned. How do you get the Tifa cat one? Is it this one? Oh yeah, it's this one. The darling little cat I feed from time to time. All right, so we'll do that one first. The other one is the Vincent one, right? The Wailing Woman is the Vincent one, with the Lucrezia kind of related one. Let's check that one out too.
Is it really mine though?
White-haired angel. Hello, dear. May I help you?
Just listening. You've got a great voice.
Oh, you flatter me. I didn't even know I was doing it. You see, this cat I feed sometimes has gone missing. And when I worry, I cannot help but see.
I will say the singing lady is not my favorite.
Sounds like a job for a merc, doesn't it?
You sing often?
Why, I sing whenever the mood strikes, really. Haven't you ever felt like bursting into song?
I haven't, actually.
I can't say I have.
Yeah, me too, Tifa.
For music, though.
I played piano a little when I was younger. My mom taught me.
Why? That's lovely.
I guess I understand the music
Sometime.
point in order to like help inspire the piano moment.
Come on.
But yeah, she's so out of place. Like she just like sings constantly.
Look for your cat.
Really? Oh, what a relief. I'm Christine, by the way.
It's like she thinks she's on Broadway.
Chanteuse. You might want to start by looking around the foot of Mount Nebo. She's got the most
I mean,
beautiful
here's the thing
strawberry
though,
coat.
Sephiroth, like you regrettably sing a lot, but do you just sing
She must be
the things that you're
starving over
saying, or do you sing
Here,
music?
Be sure to feed her.
Because I also will like sing music around the house, in the shower, all that. Like I actually really enjoy singing. It's not good. It's not good.
This makes me think of Fluffy.
Yeah, the one and only. What happened to her?
But there's a difference between like
No
singing
idea.
music in the house
Haven't
versus
seen her
like
since the fire 5 years ago.
singing things you're saying. You know what I mean? Like,
The feeling that I just
So bad for
left
this.
her.
like who actually does that?
I really hope she's okay, but
I hope I can help to make
if
their
she's
lives
not-
a little bit easier.
All right, I gotta go out into the woods, right?
Hey, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
what?
How come you named your cat Fluffy? It's not like her fur was long or super soft or anything.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't the one who
I don't know
named her.
Fluffy's
The
name.
mayor gave her to me as a gift for my 12th birthday.
I've never been a fan of Fluffy as a name because it sounds so generic. You know what I mean? Let me try something. Let me see if DLSS. I had it turned off.